Batman and Robin issue 7, legacy number 73. Joshua Williamson writing with Simone DeMeo on the art. So I'm reading this one. It's yeah, I mean, honestly, this is always a quick read. So even if I don't love everything in it, it's an easy enough time. It's hardly at the top of my list though in terms of what I'm excited to read. That said, though, Flatline did show up at the end of last issue, so it was nice to sort of see maybe what was coming from that. This is the first part of Cult of Man-Bat, and it focuses on, well, not focuses, but it sort of furthers a little bit of like Man-Bat being this cult leader, and Shush is kind of starting to get frustrated because this is not what she was signing up for. She was wanting his help with something, and now he's like got a cult. I will say I don't like this personification of Man-Bat. I like different versions of Man-Bat. I like the monster who just flies in the night sky of Gotham, right, doing a monster movie thing. I like that. I like Intelligent Man-Bat from your Justice League Dark kind of early Rebirth era. I like your Jekyll and Hyde style of Man-Bat.
Yeah, Kirk versus Man-Bat, right, where he's trying not to turn.
But this cult leader who's like, he stole our image, so we're taking it back. We're taking back the image of the bat is a bit weird. I don't know. Yeah,
that doesn't strike me as a Kirk Langstrom thing, right? As a man of science, getting into a cult in like, I don't know, like, and it is Kirk, right? It's supposed to be Langstrom.
Yeah, I think it is anyway.
Because I could see like somebody coming across the Man-Bat serum, there was those
nothing's
ninjas.
Suggested to me that it isn't him.
Right.
So I would assume it is. So yeah, it starts off with him making this big speech, and Shush is a little bit upset by it. But most of the issue though is Damien and Flatline. Flatline kind of says hey to Batman, and Batman's like, I know who you are, all gruff like. Even though he was smiling at the end of last issue when he realized that Damien's girlfriend showed up. And she kind of explains a little bit that she's in Gotham because her sister, it turns out, who she's not very close with, but her sister ended up becoming kind of like, or she thinks she's actually in trouble with organized crime, but later on we find out she's actually just part of organized crime in Gotham. She's like a gangster now. But it does some backstory stuff where she explains that she was kind of she was good at martial arts as a kid, and went to go train with Lord Deathman, all that stuff. And Damien's like, I'll help you, and she hugs him, and it's all relatively sweet. But Batman's like, hey, Flatline, I know you're good at killing, but no killing in my city. It was okay on Lazarus Island where everyone could come back, but no killing, you got it? And she's like, okay. So he smirks. There is a good line here where he's like, hey, son, I'm not one to lecture anyone on diving into the night with a dangerous criminal. Obviously referencing Catwoman. But he does smirk as Damien jumps off the roof with her. But yeah, they go looking. Damien also kind of recaps for her what he's been doing with Bruce, which did, like, it's a fun enough page with all these like Polaroids, and it shows you like Bruce and Damien playing video games or fixing up the car or getting dropped off at school. But it does feel a bit weird because, like, if you've been reading this book, then all of this is stuff that we've all been reading. Like, we don't need a recap on this. I mean, maybe that's the point, is that it's issue 7 and we're at the start of a new arc. They're thinking maybe some people are picking this up, they're jumping in with issue 7 because it is part 1 of an arc. But I mean, I don't know how many people are jumping into issue 7 of this if they hadn't.
Yeah,
like, I feel
not
like
being familiar.
I feel like if you're, obviously I get it for like long running books, like if you got legacy numbering, you're up to like 482. Obviously no one's going to go back to issue 1 and catch up from issue 1, right? Unless it's like a huge project that they want to do for the to say they've done it. But for a book that's only on issue 7, that it is very easy to go back and read one trade, or just buy the singles, or read them on DC Infinite as being the most easy option. It feels strange to think you need a recap of the general premise of the book up until this point. But either way, there's that. So yeah, they're flirting a little bit, and smirking at each other, usual thing. There is a weird moment where Flatline apparently is being spoken to in her head by, whether or not it's the real ghost or just like a something in her head. I'm assuming it's real though because of Lazarus juice or something.
Yeah.
But like Ghost Ra's al Ghul is in her head, and he's like, "Tell my grandson the truth about why you wanted to see him. Time is running out." And she's like, "Shut up, old man." And Damien hears that and is like, "What was that?" He's like, "Ah, nothing, nothing, nothing. Let's get on with this." So she's not being completely honest about why she's there. So there's some connection to Raz. Honestly, a bit weird. He is all tinted green, which is why I'm thinking some Lazarus Island stuff is like sort of stuck with her, like she's become bonded to him or something like that.
Yeah.
He looks like classic Raz though, for the most part. He doesn't look. You remember we saw him in Robin, and he had that kind of like hippie kind of look.
Yeah, he's the dude version of Raz.
Yeah, he looks more classical Raz in her head.
Huh.
But yeah, they go to the Iceberg Lounge, they sort of break in. The artist here, DeMeo, likes these 2-page layouts where he's got a lot of angled panels and stuff. It's not bad, but it does kind of sometimes feel a little bit messier compared to other artists who do like these fancy layouts, where I can follow the flow of it really easily. I do sometimes find that DeMeo, it can be a little... You know, I mean, this particular one I'm looking at is not that bad, but there's always at least a few in every issue, and sometimes they're a little bit of an assault on the eye, in terms of like just the layout, where I don't quite naturally just jump to where I'm supposed to be looking in the way that I do with other artists. Not a bad artist by any means, though. But yeah, so they find the sister, and she like threatens Flatline with a knife. It's a whole thing. Meanwhile, Batman's interrogating a member of the Man-Bat cult, who, you know, takes a pill, which seemingly, like, he basically, he does the whole, like, you know, I don't want to be interrogated, so I'm going to take the cyanide pill kind of thing.
Yes, the old Nazi treatment.
I thought he was going to turn into a Man-Bat. I thought that's what the pill was. I thought it was like Man-Bat serum or something. But then it seems like he just dies at the end. But yeah, and then Shush shows up out of nowhere, and the cliffhanger for the issue is that Man-Bat, you know, lied to me, and now we seem to have a common problem. So why don't we work together, Batman? And that's your cliffhanger. So Shush is going to work with Batman as Damien's working with Flatline to deal with her sister.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like I like the Flatline and Damien dynamic. Everything else in this issue though doesn't quite have the same momentum to it as like when they were investigating like the kid who turned out to be Zassy's son, but then turned out to not actually be Zassy's son. He's just obsessed with him. You know, that stuff was a bit more fun and pulpy. This is you know, like, I don't really care about Shush. I don't really care about the Man-Bat cult. So, and that being like half the issue did definitely bog it down. And I've got no idea what's going on with this Ra's al Ghul like in her head nonsense, which kind of tainted the Flatline stuff a little bit as well. So, yeah, this is probably like a 6.5 for me.
I would say she can commune with the dead, right? That's part of her gimmick.
Yes. Yeah, I think so anyway. I'd have to go back and check her powers exactly, but yeah.
I just don't know why Ra's would be talking to her when, you know, I don't know. It is definitely weird, and to appear as classic Ra's on top of it all, too. So hopefully there's more. I'm actually, out of all the things you brought up, that's the thing I'm more curious about. But I'm also a Ra's guy, so I hear that name and I want to know more.
Yeah, because could she just talk to like anyone who's died, or does she have to be like near them or something? Was there not like
I think so, but he died on the Lazarus Island, right? No, he was shot. So that was the death of Ra's al Ghul. I don't think she was around.
Yeah, that was before Robin.
Yeah. Well, no, because remember he appeared to Robin on the shores.
Yes.
So that was after the first arc in Robin. So when he got shot, that led to the whole Deathstroke stuff.
Wasn't all the Deathstroke stuff where he got shot before the Robin book entirely?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're probably right. I'm just misremembering.
Yeah, it came because the first arc in Robin was the whole Mortal Kombat tournament, and then it was revealed that Raz's mom was the Lazarus lady, her full name, that was running the tournament, and then it was all that stuff was revealed, and then when they come out after the tournament, that's where Raz gets killed. and that's where we had Talia teaming up with Bruce and all that other stuff.
Okay.
So she wasn't there though, so I think she does, in order to talk to them, she has to have a tie. Anyways, I'm very curious about the Raw stuff with her, because it is that is something that Williamson's been working on for a minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, 6.5. I mean, the art, from DeMeo is very stylized. There's definitely a lot of skill and talent going into it. But I do sometimes find that it all just kind of meshes together in my eyeballs. And, like sometimes it's like, oh, I have to actually look and see, okay, where bodies are ending to make sense of, like, some stuff. So, yeah, 6.5 overall, I think. So, not super enthusiastic about this particular issue. I mean, it was a quick read, though. These always are a quick, easy read. I'll give it that.